wounded and tired, Ciri collapsed in a swamp. Some peasants found her and took her to the Baron, Velen's self-appointed ruler. The warlord took the young woman in, had her nursed back to health, then sent her on her way to Novigrad.
Run, Roach.
Ghouls. And where there's ghouls, there's usually corpses.
Let's go!
Ghouls. And where there's ghouls, there's usually corpses.
Come on!
there's ghouls, there's usually corpses.
Come on, come closer. Lost your nerve? How long you gonna make me wait?
Ghouls. And where there's ghouls, there's usually corpses.
Come on, come closer. Lost your nerve? Come on, Roach. That's enough of that.
Blow yourself! all god demanded 6 sucklings.
The hell in his eye.
But a
Ought
single
to use it.
scurvy run. No wonder he cursed us. We're doomed.
Use the one brought
Someone
sour
placed an
wine.
illusion here.
Curse is your fault as much as mine.
What are you doing here?
What? The sun flying from the moon? We're making offerings to the All-God, clearly.
You too can seek his aid. That's if you got fitting offerings. He scorned ours, then cursed the old village.
The All-God, you call him. First I've heard. Is some new deity?
Nay, 'tis ancient, revered by our forefathers. They say it were like this. Roslav of Oriton came here to gather brushwood. Suddenly, for no reason, a bush burst into flame. Then, Roslav heard a voice from the ground, demanding offerings and obedience.
We've been coming here since then, bearing gifts, in exchange for which the All-God watches over us, keeps us from evil.
Mm-hmm. Plain to see that. So, what's wrong with your offerings?
You needn't mock us, you can see right well we brought scraps. Before the war, I wouldn't give this such to me elms. But what can we do? Such are the times.
And they're like to get worse. All-God said if he don't get a rafter of bacon and a barrel of beer at least, the rivers will fill up with frogs and locusts or some such will devour the harvest.
I could intercede on your behalf with this All-God of yours. Got a feeling we'd come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. To speak with him, you have to stand before the altar and cry out, "All God, help a poor wretch in need." Who knows, he might just listen to a foreigner.
What? Who dares disturb my divine being?
Geralt of Rivia. Pleasure. Expected the All-God to be corporeal in form, but never thought he'd be corpulent. Fattened up nicely at those peasants' expense.
Expense? Expense? Not a word about the help I give in return. Blessings, absolutions, enlightened advice. Believe me, these folks need all of it. I'd watch over them still if they fulfilled their end. But lately they offer these pathetic scraps.
That they steal from the mouths of their children, and to make matters worse, you cast a curse on them.
And I'll not lift it till they bring me worthy offerings. I'm to settle for curds and whey? Not a chance. And you can tell them that.
Been in this hole long?
For a century or so. One winter I found shelter here. Built a fire so large the flames leapt through the crack, lit the bushes above. I coughed from the smoke, and suddenly heard a peasant. A voice out of nowhere, he called. A miracle. Thus, I became a god.
Parasite, more like.
Maybe so. But what of Freya and the Little then, Demanding prayers and offerings, given naught in return? I talk at least.
Listen here, lord-ass. You're gonna be satisfied with what you get, or I'll feed you to the ravens.
Plowing reformers. No, fine, fine. I'll sup more modestly. But just till the end of the war, not one day longer.
Anything new?
Talk to your old god, face to face.
And? Will he show us mercy?
He will. Promise to be pleased with whatever you bring.
I told you. I told you the All-God's merciful, understanding. Thanks, Witcher.
Farewell. The All-God show you favor.
Come on. By order of the hierarch, whosoever conceals a mage in their home shall burn alongside him or her.
In short, who kisses your ass today will bite it tomorrow.
Damn it!
What? Lost your nerve?
Might drink all I had.
And her lad deals fist tech.
Got so fucked up once,
What?
blood came out of my ears.
Help a poor bloke out.
Got my eye on you, white one.
Switcher.
No lollygagging.
Well, well, look who's here. The White Wolf himself in my humble establishment. How can I be of service?
Got some coin I'd like to convert into crowns.
You've come to the right place. A better rate you'll not find anywhere in the city.
coach.
Seems everything's ready.
Aye. Soon as we catch sight of them, we'll block the road against a whole unit if need be. And, you know, I think it's a great plan all round, and I'm always glad to help. And it's not like I'm not eager to crack some holier-than-thou bugger skulls, but seeing as we've got a Doppler, wouldn't it have been easier to have him release Dandelion and be done with it?
Too suspicious. Think about it. Menga disappears, then shows up with a scar on his face to release Dandelion.
I suppose you're right.
Priscilla, what are you doing here?
Some child brought a note from Dudu. The convoy will leave at dawn. May I stay with you? I can't stand it. Sitting at home, worrying about Dandelion.
Never fear, my dear. You'll get your warbler back. Just hope he's got his... Damn it! Would have wished the rhymes in the presence of a lady.
Go back to town.
Please, I shan't be any trouble.
Oh, come on, Geralt. Leave it go. Let her stay. Look at her, all weepy-eyed. Like my Mutsy when his guts knotted up.
Fine, she can stay. On one condition.
I know, as soon as the fighting starts, I'm to stand at a distance.
Not much happening just yet. And there may be some time before it does.
Well, how about a game of Gwent?
Sure, let's play.
This was a stupid idea.
You're the one who wanted to play.
They're coming! They're coming now!
Priscilla, stay here. Dandelion. Damn it.
Girl, go after him. Leave these here to us.
Watch it! 3 more shots at the hole!
Roach over here. Lost him. Gotta look for tracks. Slower. Prints are deep. Horse was carrying a heavy load. Calm down, Roach. Just bees. Come on. Hoofprints.
Let's go.
She only ever feels like
Shit.
Anyone ride through here? 2 men. One slung over the saddle like a sack.
Oh, aye, something of the kind dashed by. Turned left there. But 'twere a wench she were carrying, swear it on me head, squealing and wailing so. Ah!
How's the work going, good man? Preparing for the hunt.
Damn it. Followed the wrong trail. Gotta look for a set of single hoof marks. Heavily laden horse.
but she's sure. Trot straight to the fixing to gather fruit from the bushes.
Ah,
Looks like it might have started limping. Run, Roach. Hey there.
Take some of it.
Their horse collapsed. Can't be far.
Just really get pissed with. Witch hunters? Even big with. Hey! You! What the hell's afoot here? Hey! You! What the.
What is it?
You tell me! One of them hunters barged into our hut, turned us out before we could so much as fart in protest.
There another man with him? Tall, dark-haired?
Aye, jabbering the whole time.
Dandelion. So, hunters barricaded themselves inside? There another way in?
Truth be told, there is.
Where's this other way in?
Aren't you curious? It's an ordinary tunnel, back way out in case of trouble.
We don't let strangers in there. Show it to them, even. And there's...
Shut it!
Want to get rid of this hunter or not?
Honest? We'd see you all gone. But he'll do for a start. Here, the key. Cellar door in the back.
Thanks.
And how can I be sure that you won't try anything? I'll go with you. Not like I really have a choice now, do I? And there'll be no trickery along the way. I could ring you neck like a crackhead. Yes, but I also realize you won't. My corpse is worth nothing to you, whereas alive, like I said, 100 gold ingots. 100 gold ingots. No more, no less. Or I'm not Julian Alfred Tankrat Viscount de Lettenhove.
Viscount? Kill more. Everybody calls you Dandelion.
That, my friend, is what we call an assumed identity. Can't expect me to reveal my full title to every goited idiot I run across. Now, if you could just unbind... You've made a wise choice. Very wise. Might not be more than a sergeant today, but tomorrow...
Quiet. I thought we heard something.
What? No, you see, me and Dags, we don't...
Die, damn it!
Geralt, must you ruin everything? I had him just where I wanted him. It is good to see you, friend. Been a while since you were last in Novigrad. What's...
Come on, we'll talk outside.
Priscilla! What are you doing here?
You all right? You had me worried sick.
Dandelion, you rascal. Got this lass to thank for his racing after yous. She chivied and chivied.
Shame you arrived too late to see us hoodwink that hunter.
I had a plan all set, but then Geralt...
Dandelion, I need to ask you something. It's important, so focus. Where's Ciri?
Ciri? I thought, seeing how you're here, you haven't seen her? Well, I don't know where she is.
I know you tried to help her. Gotta say, I'm having trouble understanding why you went to Whoreson Jr. of all people.
No one else came to mind. Maybe, given more time, I'd have done things differently, but Ciri said the Wild Hunt was on her tail. Whoreson seemed pretty harmless by comparison.
Something went wrong.
So you've heard everything. I hope you're not mad. You can't be. My plan was perfect. Until we put it in motion. How was I supposed to know Manga was after Dudu?
Heard enough about your plan. Need to know what happened to Ciri now. When did you last see her?
We were on Temple Isle, running from Whoreson's men.
Grab the bitch! Grab her!
Not our concern, though.
Whoreson Beauty is in
Since you're in for it.
Leave your horse! We have to! We're almost there!
They're headed for the square. After them.
Guards! Guards!
Dandelion!
Ciri!
Arrest that man!
Ah, what an adventure. One minute we were pulling off the heist of the century, the next we were prey. A pack of hunters on our tail.
Yeah, a splendid story, but I think I've had my fill of this boasting. Come, Zoltan. We must convince the halflings they saw nothing at all.
Gave me enough material for a volume of ballads. And this one will sell like hotcakes.
Right. Best bit's when the guard draped you over his saddle like a sack of corn. Stands to make you a fortune.
Time will tell. You're getting to be grumpy in your old age.
I'm just worried.
About who? Ciri? Have a little faith, Geralt. You have any idea how she fights? The girl can take care of herself, believe me. Anyway, she's got to come back for that little box. The trinket that started it all.
Mean this?
You get it from Whoreson? Whoa, Ciri'll be overjoyed. Whoreson, on the other hand's got to be pretty furious.
Well, he wasn't exactly thrilled.
Hey, while you were at it, you didn't think to put in a good word for me, did you? Something like, I never intended to cheat him, and if he harms a hair on my head, he'll have you to deal with.
Ran out of time.
You don't care a lick about your friends. What about Siggy Reuven? How's he doing?
Fine, last I heard.
Oh, that's too bad. Because I have a sneaking suspicion he might be a teeny bit mad at me.
Ciri ever tell you what this is? And Whoreson, why'd she go to him with it?
She went to Whoreson because I took her there.
Could have guessed that was your idea.
What? Her magic bauble was broken. Whoreson had access to the mages who could fix it. Besides, she needed help deciphering a curse. It's incantation.
What was Ciri's interest in this curse? Did she want to cast it or lift it? She tell you?
She wasn't all that willing to talk about it. I didn't want to pry.
The one time when it might have been useful.
But I'm almost positive she meant to lift it.
Off who? What? Or was it about her directly?
No. I don't think so. I mean, she didn't look cursed. But boy, was she in a hurry.
Know any more about the curse? Something specific, a detail, anything?
Well, I know the words.
You're kidding.
No, they were Elven. Ciri was constantly repeating them to herself. Probably not to forget. Went like this. Vafile Elaine Kiadmil Foli. Gladiv Dorn Ep Tenaid Bundro Isne Iakas.
Doesn't mean a thing to me.
Even less to me.
Damn it, that's just not enough. Ciri say anything else?
Didn't say much at all, to be honest. Geralt, she's no longer that little girl who ran around Kaer Morhen. Sure, she's still impulsive, alive, but she's also stubborn and sulky. Apple didn't fall far from the tree, let me tell you.
Right. She slipped away again. I was so close.
She came here from Velen. Somebody there helped her, apparently. Maybe she went back.
Doubt it. Talked to the Baron there. He's the one helped Ciri. Said she rode off to Novigrad to look for Yen and me. And Yen's in Skellige, looking into traces she thinks Ciri left behind there.
So... Skellige?
Skellige.
You two have chatted enough. Now it's my turn to talk to Dandelion.
I'll gladly have a go at 'em when you're done. Let's get back to the Rosemary in time.
Well, I've certainly had my share of excitement for one day. A juicy roast in a soft bed with fluffy pillows. I think that's the least I need. We haven't seen each other, talked in ages. Consider dropping by if you're in the area.
I'm sure to be by sometime soon.
I'll hold you to that, Geralt. See you soon. And thanks again for today.
Why ever would you... Come on, go. We are, grateful you wanted to demonstrate that. So, we got this wee gift for you.
Portrait of the Hierarch. Nice.
There's nothing really. Got oodles of them. Just, if you wouldn't mind not mentioning where you got it. All right?
All right. Farewell.
Wonderful.
Ever heard the
Wild
legend?
hunting.
Won't get you a copper. Got to be elegant like me.
I repeat, The last individual who tried to come in on my business, it took them a month to find him. Am I being clear, Chive?
What's the fuss about? Can you not treat me as a bit of healthy competition?
Why are you even talking to him, Duke? I've always maintained 2 smashed knees are worth 1,000 words.
Oh, get out! Glad you came.
What's this about?
Nothing. I just wanted you to meet my new pals before they bugger the fuck off. Because we were just parting, right?
We'll have our reckoning yet, Chive. Soon.
What's this? Some flea-ridden mutant got you scared, Duke? Just say the word. I'll take care of him. Take a peek at what he's got inside, then make the midget eat it. Sound good?
Next time, Earl. Let's go.
Right, and don't show your hides round here ever again. Well, that puts me up to the neck in fucking shite without the shovel.
Shady, those guys. Who were they?
Puffed up fish bladders, Duke. Word does he's out to be the new Horse Son Jr., but the bugger's missing a hell of a lot. Specifically coin, influence, men, and class.
And the other?
Errol. A scumjug like few others. Skin of my arse twitches at the sight of him. Back in Mahakam, we'd send sow buggers like that down the coalface with a bundle of powder and a leaky lamp.
What's this all about? Doing business with them?
Exactly the ploughing opposite. You see, Geralt, old pal...
About to ask me for help, aren't you?
The thing is, I sort of kind of owe a wee sum to a mutual acquaintance, Francis Bedlam, the king of beggars. To pay off the debt, I've made up my mind to get serious about Gwent.
Getting better by the minute.
Not the playing of it, mind you, but the cards themselves. The rarest of them fetch princely sums these days. Sadly, that's not exactly arcane knowledge. Got a buyer in heat for my collection, missing just 3 cards. But Duke's dregs are all over my arse, so... What do you say, Geralt?
Fine. We'll try to hunt down those cards. Which ones you need?
Fringilla, Vigo, Isengrim, and John Natalis. Devilish hard to get hold of. Duke's been trying too, hasn't had any luck.
Wait, you don't even know where to look for these cards?
Nah, it's not as bad as that. I'm betting Zed's got them. He quit fencing recently, only deals in cards now. Unfortunately, the arsewite won't talk to me. Not after I bought a one-of-a-kind Scoia'tael card out from under his nose. Would you mind going to see him?
Zed. Sounds familiar.
Big fish in the card pond. Has a shop along the south wall. And thank you, Geralt. I actually think I stand to pay off this debt now.
No problem. See you later, Zoltan.
What's the hurry? To be a purveyor of cheap whores and watered-down wine?
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin. So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ekamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Where do you get this cabaret idea?
It's been a dream for years. Ever since we went to see one in Oxenford. Remember? The dancer hanging from the chandelier? And once she was completely downside up, she called you over and...
I remember.
How could you forget? And this place will be even better, I promise. That is, of course, if I can scrounge together the funds for some remodeling.
How can I help you?
I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zerrikania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing. We can borrow the coin from her.
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
You know, I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure. Which is why I need to draw on your authority. You've got some, you know, no matter what you might think.
Fine. Tell me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And then give me that loan.
What's this help entail?
First of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Arena. One of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Arena. What will you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish. But I promise I'll do it before you come back with the sword. Then I'll tell you the rest.
Fine, but...
Geralt, the only butts in this plan will be the ones filling my seats. It'll work, you'll see. Get the sword from Madame Arena and meet me outside Sophronia's at sunset.
Old man Newman left me a gift log. I'd give you a discount for heroic deeds.
What's he schemed up this time?
Got my eye on you, white one.
So good to see you.
Got a request. Need to borrow one of your props. One of the swords you use for stage battles.
Mine? Whatever do you need that for?
I don't know, but Dandelion claims it's essential.
Oh, yes. I suspected Master Dandelion might have a hand in this. I certainly hope you don't aim to compete with me. Voilà.
Thanks. I'll try not to damage it. So long.
Strapping the mug to the working man. Where you walking, Timwood? Don't know who you're looking for, but you won't.
As they say, a bard must talk with a talker.
Wonderful. Now you...
Sick of it all.
Ignorance don't walk away your guilt.
Finally made it. Listen, here's the plan. Sophronia loves adventure-filled romance novels. I can be a hero in her eyes if I can just save her from a bandit. I'll have her eating out of my hand, and there's no way she'll begrudge me that loan.
Want me to be the bandit?
Knew you'd see the sense in it right away.
serious? That's your brilliant plan?
I never called it brilliant, but any kind of plan is better than none. Written your lines already.
You've written what?
So you know what to say during the performance. Here, and your mask. Put it on. Sophronia can't recognize you.
But...
No time. Sophronia's coming. Stick to the plan. We'll meet at the Rosemary in the morning.
Stop right there.
What is this? Help! Save me!
Tremble, flaxen-haired wench. Bow before the Prince of Thieves.
Not so fast. Drop your sword, scoundrel. This is your first and last warning.
Dandelion!
'Tis I, though the scum of the city call me the Crimson Avenger.
More like the Crimson Asshole.
Silence, vermin! You shall regret the day you were born.
Go on, Dandelion!
On guard!
Avenger!
What? Lost your nerve?
I've been hit! Ow!
To the house, quickly! He shan't get us there! Eternal fire, what do you want from us? Leave us be!
This rogue will soon run off. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't chance getting caught by the guards. Would he?
So, how you go with this healer? I was faffing about minding my own business when suddenly up he pops up here.
To puke or not to puke, that is the...
Boys a mummer than you do wishing.
Not gonna have time on it.
Just hopped out for a smoke.
There's been a misunderstanding. You're here too early.
We agreed to meet today, so we've come today. Supplies are all hauled in and the crew's raring to work. We'll start just as soon as our lovely directress gets round to deciding on the decoration.
But Dandelion doesn't even have the coin to pay you.
Turns out he does now, or soon will. At any rate, he's working on it.
See? It's all peachy. So will you finally decide what style you want for this interior?
What are our choices?
Master Dandelion said he was torn between boudoir style and theatre decor. Promised to let us know his choice as soon as we arrived. Now we're here, but no decision's been made. And the lady's horribly surprised she's to choose. Though apparently this whole renovation's for her sake.
For me?
Well, it's not for me. Now, would you please decide where I bust a vessel?
I've no idea what Dandelion would like. Geralt, you've known him longer. Say something.
You're both stage artists, and cabaret's a form of theater. Interior should reflect that.
A wonderful choice it is. At last. Gentlemen, you're done lollygagging. Get to work.
Well, well. Guess this cabaret's the real thing.
Ever since Dandelion inherited this place, he's talked about it constantly. I just never expected him to take action. And so quickly.
Who knows? Might even settle down now. He'll have to keep an eye on the business. Who would have known?
Despite what people say about him, Dandelion approaches life very rationally.
True enough. Adheres to the principle that a life enjoyed is a life well lived.
You needn't mock.
I'm not. I mean that. Nothing wrong with the principle. Dandelion just knows how to enjoy life. It's a good thing.
Dandelion can also be responsible. He always pays anyone who works for him on time, and he's never missed a performance.
Sure hope your opening won't be the first. He's still not here.
Well, he said as soon as he got the coin, he'd go see Polly, our choreographer. She's missed the last few rehearsals. I certainly hope he's not gotten into trouble.
Anything's possible with Dandelion. Let me see if I can't find him. What's the ruckus about?
Polly and her half-brained fiancé. They're fighting. She's the only one in this town who knows anything about choreography, and that lummox won't let her work for me. Hold on. What are you doing here? We were gonna meet at the Rosemary.
We were, but you didn't show. Priscilla started to worry, so I came to see how you were doing.
Priscilla started worrying about me? That's so nice!
Less for her than for you, I'm sure. So let's get back.
Did you not hear what's going on in there? We've gotta help Polly. Why do beautiful women always end up with such dicks?
No idea. Stand back. I'll break the door down.
Wait! Do we have to destroy her house? She keeps a spare key around here somewhere.
How would you know she keeps a spare key around here?
It's not as if we started working together yesterday. Before Polly joined forces with Jubio...
You'd visit her? Often?
I'd hide out here while Priscilla and Polly rehearsed at the Rosemary and Thyme. They worked on the dance numbers. I composed.
So, Polly's not one of your...
I never mix business and pleasure.
The one exception being Priscilla.
Who you were just saying is worried about us. So enough of the chatter, and start looking.
Fine. Let's find the key.
Damn it. Now where would she leave?
Not here.
Hi, handsome.
Ah, the key.
You dead? Or you dead?
Whoa! What the devil's this? Get out of my house!
Watch it, and leave the woman alone.
What the... She's my betrothed.
But I'm not your property.
I love her. I'll not let her sway her ass in his brothel.
Whoa, slow down there a minute. This is clearly one gigantic misunderstanding. One I can clear up in the blink of an eye.
Shove your excuses up your ass. Sod off, or I'll split your skull.
My friend asked you nicely, so please be courteous in return and hear him out, or we'll settle this another way.
All right, talk.
Hubio, right? Polly's told me so much about you. She said you're erudite and have an open mind.
You said that? Well, there's a truth to it. My mind's the open salt, but its open saltedness ends when my betrothed starts wagging her ass around brothels. Get out of here, both of yous. Polly's not going anywhere.
Let him finish. There's no brothel involved.
You see, friend, Geralt just hit the nail on the head. For what you have there is the old publicity placard.
Old?
Very. From a time when my establishment was under different management. I, however, would never let any indecency take place in my cabaret. My very reputation precludes it.
So, what's all this about?
Your betrothed is a first-class artiste, and I want to offer her a position worthy of her talents. She's to be my choreographer, and that in turn means she'll receive a share of the proceeds from every performance she choreographs.
You mean to say coin?
And fame. No flirting required. You have my word.
Suppose, in that case...
I knew you'd agree.
It's settled then. See you at the Rosemary, Polly.
Well, I'm off.
I'll catch up to you. Whew. Never expected that to go so well.
You handled it well, Dandelion. Man was body in your hands once you called him erudite.
In negotiation, as in combat, the key is to find your opponent's weak spot and exploit it to the hilt.
So, time to head back?
I've still got to stop by Rotlegs. Commissioned some new placards from him a while ago, but Hubio came across the old version. Plowing artists got some serious explaining to do.
Who's Rotleg?
Never heard of him? Hank Rotleg, famous portrait artist?
Commissioned a portrait artist to paint your placards?
Henry's an old friend, needed the coin. And I decided we needed new placards to promote the opening performance. Seats won't fill themselves, you know.
I'll go see Rotleg. You head back to the Rosemary. Priscilla will have my head.
Really? You'd go?
No, said that for the hell of it. Tell me where he lives.
Portside.
See you soon.
What the fuck are you doing? We weren't done conversing.
Call that a conversation?
Not your plowing business. You need a smack us at it.
Come on, come closer. Sorry, but you asked for it. I'm Geralt.
See, Chris, you did well, mate. An ale to patch things. Come, we'll talk inside.
What brings you here, Geralt?
You and the merchant, what was that about?
Why Miss Cess wedded that plough and rotter is beyond me.
That was your brother-in-law?
Prick-in-law, more like. Swede taught me at first. Skellige mead, we need barrels, we'll be rich men. So, I brought it in. Then he starts going on about unforeseen storage costs, net gross balances, and what else.
Business and family just don't mix.
Exactly, mate.
Looking for a bodyguard. Interested?
Why not, if there's coin in it?
Well, there isn't. Not yet.
So we're to barter. Favor for a favor, aren't we?
I'm gonna kill you, Hattori. Yeah, I guess. What did you have in mind?
Brother-in-law owes me some coin. Get it back and we'll talk.
Damn it. I'll do it. Where'll I find him?
Nearby at the docks. You know what? I don't care for his coin all in all. If you don't get it back, I won't mind.
So what do you want me to do?
Smash his stock of mead. Was me brought it in from Aunt Skellig.
That a mature thing to do?
Nay, but it's fair.
The seas are tossing, tossing, and the wind blowing and blowing.
This life. Sometimes.
Ow!
All souls praise the eternal fire.
The thinking custom.
Greetings. I'm Mr. Sucrus's collector. Come to get...
Mr. Sucrus, the man's a boor. I do not deal with illiterate peasants. Tell him I'll pay just as soon as palm trees sprout on Skellige.
Palm trees have sprouted on Skellige. Now pay up.
It can't be. Of course I shall pay Sucrus. A letter of credit acceptable? Redeemable at the Vivaldi's bank? Yes. I'm on my way.
All souls praise the eternal fire.
None you, are you? Look for your pride beyond the earth. Pile driver.
Greetings.
Aye, Geralt. How you doing?
Took care of it. Trader said he'd give you a letter of credit issued by the Vivaldi's bank.
Is that so? Well done, mate. So who am I to knock off?
Just want you to keep an eye on someone. This swordsmith. Seems you know each other.
I be your Hattori, the elf. Tried swindling me on axes once, the bastard. You working for him?
You could say that. We're trying to dismantle the swordsmithing monopoly in Novigrad.
Oh, noble cause. Well, you're vouching for it, don't see why not. I'll grab some of the boys and we can go.
Ram. Why are you looking at me inside? Kill it.
Save me. I'm dying.
Greetings, Hattori. See, Sucrus already found you. You two agree to something?
Yes, Geralt. I was forced to sell him a few axes at the wholesale price, but I was glad to do it. Thank you.
Finally accepting orders for swords again?
Sadly, no. I lack certain crafting supplies.
Let me guess. Ernst van Horn's got a monopoly on them as well.
Just so. He bought them cheap from swordmakers abandoning the trade. Now he hoards them like a squirrel. But if you... No, you'd never agree.
Agree to what?
I happen to know where Van Horn keeps his hoard. It's more than he could possibly ever use. We could borrow a little.
What are you getting me into? Borrow? Don't you mean steal?
Stealing from a thief's no crime.
It isn't? So what is it? Poetic justice? How did I get sucked into this? And why?
It's simple. The best swords you've ever seen. Armor, trebuchet, catapults.
All right. Assuming I agree, how do you see this?
Van Horn has his warehouse at the docks. The materials I need are very heavy. You must ask Sucrus to take his boys. One more thing. The crates I need will smell of ammonia.
Greetings.
Oh, Geralt. How are things?
Hattori's got a job for us.
Great. I was starting to get bored.
Wants us to borrow a few crates from Ernst van Horn's warehouse. They'll smell of ammonia.
Sounds doable. I know where Van Horn stores his goods. The boys and I will go there, look around. Meet us near the Sturgeon.
Fine. When?
After dark, of course. See you there.
8 at the Kingfisher, you'll soon be into the just gotta just...
Pam, param, pam, pam, param.
Looking for Rodlick.
You ain't alone. Damn halfling's in debt to half the city, but I'm here to scrape mine before the carcass is picked clean.
There's not enough for everyone, so bugger off. Feeding time's first come, first served.
You're not gonna rob him.
Strange, don't recall asking your permission. Get him, Fred!
What? Lost your nerve?
You'll regret this, mutant.
Damn it.
Tell me what you want, damn it!
Placards.
There ain't no ploughing placards here.
And Rodlick? Where's he?
Same place as always. Vehicle Bud Estate. Losing his last crowns at the races.
See? Wasn't that easy? Could have said so right away.
Last chance to surrender unorthodox folks.
Sick of it.
Jockey and steed, you'd think them a pair of old lovers. Synergy reigns between
Seems you're a considerable...
You Rodlick?
Henri Rodlick, artist, painter, debtor, and martyr to my art. At your service.
Dandelion sent me.
Oh, yes. Tell him his placards are done and safely hidden away. Yet, alas, I cannot fetch them. A group of angry creditors has seized my home.
Think I might have run into one of them.
Then you know my predicament. And now Count de Louverton has offered me the chance to win it all back. I'm to wager on a race.
Generous. Not just anybody could afford to do that.
De Louverton is not just anybody. He's Duke Sam's youngest son. Sam of the well-known family of gem dealers. One debt more or less makes little difference to him.
What's there to worry about? This is your chance to settle up, get a clean slate.
We've had a spell of bad luck lately. Should I agree to de Louverton's offer and lose, I shall be in bondage to him for all time.
Let me pay off your debt. No strings attached.
Thank you. I never expected this.
May I ask to what I owe this generosity?
Let's just say I like to do a good deed from time to time. Can we get those placards now?
I'll bring them to the Rosemary in time, just as soon as I settle my obligations.
Fine. See you there.
Gods and men, dumbstruck with awe, behold, madly gallop.
Wondering if I could take part in the races.
If you've coin for the rider's fee and a steed of your own, why not? Decide quickly, please. There's a race about to begin.
Is there a land where I might find more of your kind?
The eternal fire. They hate you so
Grand opening tonight. Grand indeed.
We start in G major, and...
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
I love it. Especially the, accoutrements on the wall. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the chameleon.
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premier will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary in Time wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking.
He saw right.
And she say anything about me?
She said something that made me think she's not entirely normal.
What?
That you're responsible, got your feet planted firmly on the ground.
You're pulling my leg.
Not this time. One thing's eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Oh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours. 4 hours from the cloak and the dagger.
You mean you didn't...
Are you crazy? Who do you think I am? She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Master Dandelion! Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man.
She's badly, been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course. Let's go.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable. Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
Who could have done this?
That I do not know. I do, however, know she is not the perpetrator's first victim.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No? Let me repeat. I know what I'm doing, and I wish to help.
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
No. Need to tend to something first.
In that case, we shall meet by the Kingfisher. I'll await you there.
I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
Thingy's punishable by death.
Any of a range these days.
Life, you gotta take risks.
All right. We know all we need to know. Just one guard at the entrance.
I'll take care of him.
Thought you might. Me nose ain't all that sensitive. I'll not find the right crates, so you gotta mark 'em with chalk. We'll get a cart in the meantime.
Fine. What do I do when I'm done?
Just leave the warehouse. Then we'll go in.
Think I'd miss me trousers. Oh, my coin. Deal of a lifetime. What the hell? It's you! I know you! Mr. Dwarf, this is the thieving swindler I told you about. Are you following me, you scoundrel?
Ah, plowing nonsense. I knows him. It's Witcher Geralt. How goes it, Master Witcher?
A witcher? Well, it all makes sense now. Mr. Dwarf, do not listen to him. The bastard will curse us.
You trade heads with troll. A friend of Yappin Zigrin's a friend of mine. Now sod off before I lose my temper. Now!
Abracadabra, hocus pocus.
How goes it, Master Witcher? Anything specific you're looking for in Van Horn's warehouse?
What I'm looking for is none of your business. Ought to just let me through.
Way's all clear.
crafting supplies. Must be it. Does stink of ammonia. That'd be it. Gotta signal them now.
Have you any idea whose warehouse this is, goat fucker?
Aye, Geralt. It's the bloke Atari told us about. The bugger who sleeps with Cleaver or something.
Sucrus, why are you here? With the sorcerer? Ah, now I see. That is one hell of a jest you pulled.
Hattori sent you? That ploughing non-human will be sorry his mother didn't strangle him with his navel string. But first, we'll feed you to the crabs.
Hands off my brother-in-law, swine. Only I can thrash him. Understood?
Brother, let's mop the floor with these plowing Nordlings. Join us, Geralt. Adam.
Slow down, Sucrus. Let's talk.
I gotta save me brother-in-law. Attack!
Gotta get around him!
Surrender.
What? Lost your nerve?
That's it, you're in for it! Fucking come on!
You'll never learn. time to end this.
Yeah.
We could conquer all Nilfgaard with this fighter. Sucrus, forgive me. I love you like a brother, you unkempt bugger. Friends?
Course, friends. What good has Beckering ever brought us?
Where's that Draca that hit me?
Don't mean to spoil your reunion, but what'll we do with Van Horn?
We'll take him to Skellige before he comes to. Won't be any more trouble to you. And maybe we'll try a new venture. But first we have to move these crates to Hattori's.
True. I ought to pay him a visit too.
As long as the damp don't make me sick.
I'm so...
People, help me! I'm really using piss, but man to get my arse wet. Louder fuck off. I will kill you. Get him from both sides!
Greetings, Ibeer.
Geralt, you return safe and sound.
I do. You doing all right?
Never better. Once Van Horn had finally left, Cleaver lost interest in swordsmiths. I can forge swords again without fear of my workshop going up in flames.
Glad to hear it.
You've no notion how glad I am. Have no need of Sucrus anymore, and can devote myself to what I truly love. I thank you, Witcher.
So now can you craft me something extraordinary?
Naturally. It is what we agreed. Give me a few days, then come by for your new sword.
Greetings, Ibeer.
Greetings, Geralt. How might I be of help?
What do you have on offer? So long. Greetings, Ivier.
Greetings, Geralt.
What do you have on offer? So...
Greetings.
What do you have on offer? So long.
One drink all I had. Wonderful.
Order of the hierarch, whosoever conceals a mage in their home shall burn.
Well, another freak.
Oh!
Well then, ready for a stroll through the sewers?
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued.
You lead.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon. How's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Trobritz. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count. Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Looks like necrophage has got to this one. Let's keep looking. Human. Wrong body type. Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood?
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin. An incision. But the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience?
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard, right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor. His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine. Long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirates was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, your reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in, under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the Eternal Fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job. Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Bloody bandits! Can't go out in the streets no more!
At least before they didn't used to kill women.
You Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue?
Fabian? Oh, yeah, I remember. No eyes, no heart, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of her.
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid. You searched Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you a tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Talk. What did you find on him?
I had you wish. Triflings, baubles, gloss-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment, that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
Get out of my sight. Now.
Gods.
Whoa! You didn't know.
As clear as the eternal fire.
Oh!
Eternal fire protects us. Gives monsters the shits. So, how you go with this thing?
I was faffing about minding my own business when suddenly up he pops in heels me.
Anyone home?
Begone, or I'll sick me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit, you stupid mutts, lie down. Come on, come on then. Slowly now, lest they bite you.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. A better barking dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. As soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I run to a mate who raised his fighting dogs. Bought these two mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family, or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, you were a good dwarf. Craftsman like no other. But you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag," and other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her, this dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. Her pont said a fever took her.
Tell me what you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
'Twas like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss him burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze, and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claimed not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleeding orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. They care about some dwarf.
Fine. We've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.